Okay, so it's a very large size, and it's a very long length as well, a little bit longer than even the size of what the material is. So basically what I've done with this is the back, obviously I've cut it. I've taken away the side pieces which contained this embroidered panel, and then I've cut that in the center, and half of that I'm going to apply to the front of the daman, and the rest I'm going to apply to the back of the daman. So this is the front, and the way I'm going to apply this is that's going to go at the bottom like this. I'm going to use the matching yellow fabric just to show a little bit of that. So I'm going to attach that to the end of this, turn that over and overlap it so that it finishes sort of on the, and gives it a little bit of the weight. And then I'm going to use the same fabric to do the jacks as well. On the back of the kameez, there may be scissor marks on this, but there is a little bit of a slight bit of a flaw in there. When you balance this out, you may have to just take, they may not match perfectly, because if you match them perfectly there, the kameez will be unbalanced in other portions. So you have to take that sort of bit away, and then that much will come in the seams itself, and it will balance it out. So I'm going to apply this bit sort of similar to in line with what I'm going to be using at the front. Again, I'm going to apply the yellow fabric at the front, and then I'm going to just turn that over, just on the spot there, because I want the back of the kameez to have a little bit of a weight to it as well. Shoulders, like on this particular dress, I've got almost like 20 inch on the shoulders. The bust is 26 just one side, so you've got 52 on the bust. And then you've got a waist which is 25, which is a 50-inch waist. So you can, going by those measurements, you sort of get an idea of just how big a kameez it is. This has obviously been folded in half, so I've just cut, not really much of a fitting because it's such a large size, but really what's going to finish this dress is the detailing and so on. So the detailing of this dress is, you'll get more of a look of this dress now when I open this up and lie it open, and basically that's what it now looks like. It's been cut up, and I'll place the neckline, which I have burnt out. If I can find what I've done with it. Oh God, where is it gone? Okay, so when we place this on, I still haven't ironed the wonder web on this, but I'm going to iron the wonder web on, and then I'm going to center this so that the neckline is sitting in its right place, probably somewhere like over here, evened out, so it's both proportioned and is sitting absolutely perfectly. And then we're going to just iron this on and then embroidery around so that the neckline looks like it's part of the feature of the dress itself. Now the neckline on that particular dress is actually cut into, and it's got buttons on. I'm not really overly keen on cutting into this, so I'm just going to attach this on. I'm not going to, probably bring it down just a little bit more. It's going to leave a little bit of empty space on top of the shoulders, so the neckline piece that I take off from here, I'll probably attach that on so that it looks even and it doesn't look like it's Now if you haven't got a Wonder Web, then I suppose what you'd do is you'd pin it in several places, and or maybe hand tuck it down and then go over it with a darning stitching, and that basically is going to be the dress. Once we've attached the neckline on, we'll probably do a little bit of fine cutting around the shoulders, and now for the sleeves, I'm just going to leave that to a side. I'm going to do all the attachments so that it gives you an idea. Now the sleeves, they're actually cut this way, and again I've the pieces that I had left over, I've cut these, and I'm going to be adding them on like that, like that, so that it gives it a little bit of a finer detailing on the front of the sleeve. Now the sleeves themselves, there's adequate fabric here to actually make the sleeves. I'm just gonna go on to obviously in line with what the dress is. Now the thing to bear in mind with oversized dresses is sometimes the fabrics are not adequate to make such large sizes. So whenever you're buying, if you're an extra large size, then the thing to do is to bear that in mind, that is the fabric going to be sufficient to make your size. And alhamdulillah, with these suits there's ample fabric. Despite the fact that this is such a large size, I still have you know, these small pieces left over. So if we had any kind of misunderstandings, problems, then we've still got enough to actually cover ourselves. I mean, like if the fabric was required and another piece was required in the sleeves, then we could take it out from this. But alhamdulillah, we're okay, we've got plenty, and we're going to be getting on with cutting the salwar. Now the bit of advice that I would give on a salwar is when it's a large size, is to bear in mind and not to cut like a simple kalidar salwar. No, not to cut a goody weather salwar, but to cut a kalidar salwar, and is what we're going to do. So we'll put this to a side and then we'll finish the necklines and so on. I'm just going to do a standard round neckline with this. I'm not going to do no, when it's a big person, galati necklines tend to be irritating, like too claustrophobic, too close to the neck. So especially people who have certain illnesses and so on tend not to want to wear, you know, something that is so close around their neck. So we're not going to be doing a neckline like this. We're going to be doing a simple neckline. But with the salwar, I've washed and pressed this. Always pre-shrink these fabrics because they do have a tendency to, and also there's generally a fair bit of a flaw in these fabrics. Now there's plenty of fabric, so not to worry. Even though there's a flaw in this, I'm going to be able to easily get that out. And the flaw is that there's no even edging on this. So we're going to even that edge out first. Now the salwar, we're going to make it into like a kaliya wali salwar, and the reason for that is because you tend to get a little bit of a heavier salwar, and I think with being such a large size, I would prefer to have kali in a salwar rather than having a simple salwar, because it hangs far better, and also this is like a fairly thinnish fabric. make sure to even this endings out before you go on to cutting this. Just take away this. Now it's a very long salwar. The length of this salwar is 47 inches, which is very, very long. So for a 47 inches salwar, I would make this into 37-inch normal salwar, and then I would add the belt. Seven-inch poncha. I would keep the gear of this, say, like 24 inches, 26 inches, sorry. Then we want the belt, and I have been told that the belt is going to be 30 inches. So it's 60-inch. 30 inches is just one side. So 60-inch belt is a fairly big belt. attaching underneath the poncha now, I might just have a slight bit of a problem where I might need to add just a little bit of a material for the turning on top of the belt, because this is extremely long salwar. But that's all I've got left. I can use any fine fabric to actually do that, and inshallah that will accomplish our salwar. Battery is almost due to run out, and I'm gonna hopefully share the result with this suit with you. The sewing is going to be fairly simple, general sewing like a lot of the videos, so I hope you follow the tutorial for the cutting and then maybe chase up some of the old videos in how I went about making the neck and attaching the rest of the attachments. So if you haven't ordered these suits, I would highly encourage you to do so, and you know, take the benefit from wearing a very comfortable lawn suit, which is a luxury in itself. So hope to see you with the result, and inshallah we're going to be tackling the next one, which is going to be the grey color one.